He's got a nice setup, and we're going to be doing a walkthrough there and showing all the tools and stuff that he uses. So we're having some fun there. Is that the 5 o'clock Charlie from Bash Planet? No, 5 o'clock Charlie. Man, I forgot about that. Oh, I feel old now. Nick Hoffman, he's posted the talk. Hey, Nick can post a link. Look at that.
What?
He just posted a link. Saratoga Kelly says, great show. Have you tried the Evolution metal cutting saws and chop saws? No, I've heard great things about them. I was supposed to get sent one. They told me they were going to send me one, and I never got it. So, hard to test. What do you recommend with the offered extended warranties or products from Harbor Freight? If it's going to be a tool you use hard and a lot, and the cost is in that right area, then yeah, I would definitely consider getting the tool. Think about it this way: if the extended warranty, like you're buying $100 tools, and the extended warranty is $20, and that's a 2-year warranty, that means that basically you're spending $20 or $10 a year to get brand new tools every year. Think of it as a lease-to-own program almost at that point. But I know if I was a professional, I would definitely do it. As a home gamer, I don't usually do it. Unless, I'm trying to think if I've ever done it. If I was buying something really expensive, I might consider it, but generally, no, I don't buy the extended warranties. If I was doing it professionally and it was a tool I relied on to make money, I would do it without thinking twice. You don't see late night lawyer ads for broken tools. No, you don't. This causes cancer exclusively in the state of California.
Yep.
I think California causes cancer in California. Our Rich's Bear, what makes you and Mrs. Bear so good at YouTube vids? You're just regular people with a lot of experience willing to share with us. Thank you so much.
Yep.
That was really nice of you to say that.
Sorry about the reflection of my glasses.
Sam says, I've been using a 44 Series 1 for almost 3 years now. Got it after returning to work after an injury and my Snap-on being repoed. Sorry to hear about the Snap-on. That happens. You know, a lot of guys were going, well, I'm going to laugh when these icon boxes start getting repoed. No repo on the icon boxes when they come out with the financing because the financing is unsecured. So only Snap-on reps and other tool trucks are going to come up to repo your stuff, which is, again, why I'm not a fan of the tool truck. There are other opportunities. If you don't like Harbor Freight, fine. There's only a couple hundred other choices you have. Don't buy Harbor Freight. I'll say that right now. Don't. You're not going to offend me personally. I don't care. I'm just trying to help people find good stuff. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, stay off the tool truck. There are a few things from Snap-on. The line wrenches and a lot of the specialty stuff, like the bearing pullers and stuff. I hear they're fabulous.
That is
Great.
Like the major difference. I just had a moment there.
The specialty tools?
No. Oh. Like the major difference is like the people who are so invested in the fact that they bought something that you have to buy it to validate their choice. Whereas you're just trying to give people information. You're giving them your opinion, obviously. And when it comes down to it, like, it's no skin off your back one way or the other. Like, you just want them to make an informed decision.
Well, I love the guys. There are guys saying that I'm going to steer these young guys wrong. I'm like, we've got people on here who've used Harbor Freight and Techno tools for years and years professionally, never had a problem. Mm-hmm. Gale Banks, one of the most brilliant engineers in diesel mechanics in the world, uses Harbor Freight toolboxes. Tell me how much smarter you are than Gale Banks. I want to hear that.
Yeah.
There are tons of guys. Watch any YouTube stuff when you high end. There's some stuff about planes, aerial aviation stuff I watch, and you'll see Ryobi in a lot of the aviation techs carts and stuff, and it blows me away. But you know what? You know why it is? Because they're serious and they use the right tool every time. Unlike a lot of auto mechanics who are like, screw it, I'm going to bang on it. And the aviation guys are like, this tool for this only. If I needed more power, then I go with, instead of like taking their ratchet and putting way too much force on it, or banging it with a hammer, they go and get, I don't know, a breaker bar. And
the appropriate tool.
Yeah, right tool for the job. If California has its way, they will outlaw all DIY repairs. They try to outlaw anything. And the funny thing is, they talk about how they're doing it for the people and try to keep people safe. But what they're really doing is it's protectionist rackets for the dealerships. That's all that it is. The same reason why an individual, to sell one car for profit, you need to have a full dealership license. There's no like small business license. There's no like you can sell 5 to 10 cars a year without any. One car, you need to have a license, and they will come after you if they can find you if you don't have one. It's a protectionist racket and nothing else. And they try to spin it like, oh, we're so for the people. No, bull.
Codeology.
Looked at the Icon today and was impressed. Was going to get a full set of wrenches. I couldn't decide with the regular ones versus or the V-throat ones. That's a good question. Maybe some people can talk about what they prefer as far as that. I like the idea of the V-throat, but
honey, Daughter of Ra's gonna burn you down.
What?
Gets the upgraded.
Oh yeah. All right, we got to catch up here. Cutter said, "Good to see you tonight. I need a table saw and a planer. What do you recommend?" I think I read that before. What? What?
Did we see Daniels?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Rich, just because the trolls have done something all their lives never means they're doing it right. Some contractors you just was. Well, here's the thing. It's a fallacy of expertise. They say, well, I've been a technician all my life, thus I'm the only one allowed to speak on tools. How many tools have you used? You know, and the fact of the matter is, how many people are going to be using that tool the exact same way you are? Because that's the only thing you can speak of. Because these guys don't spend the time to go out and read and get information from other people and other sources and do the kind of surveying. This is what I do full time. I'm retired, but this is my new job because this is what I like doing. But ask her. I mean, I'm the kind of person who will drive by, see somebody, on a work site, stop and go and talk to them. Yep. And be like, what's your experience? What do you think about this? What is it good or is it bad? How long have you had it? And I follow up with these people and I talk to them all the time because just because you're doing one thing that way every time doesn't mean that every other person who uses the tool is doing that. And statistical analysis, if you understand that, will tell you that you need more data sets. People calling you a shill are just jealous that they didn't get free stuff. It's got to be that. I mean, I launched the whole thing about the Icon, talked about the Icon. It's great. It's challenging, Snap-on, blah, blah, blah. At any point did I say, this thing is way better than a Snap-on and you need to buy this instead? In fact, did I ever say this is what you need to buy? I don't think, at best, I've said, if you're thinking about buying a Snap-on, you'd be better off buying this and saving the money. But I've also said that you don't need that tool either. Daniel McKenzie says, I'm liking the Carlisle Napa stuff, just wanted SK, but man, I used to be a huge SK fan, but their tools in my testing have not held up well. They work great. I don't like the wrenches. They don't, as far as I'm concerned, they don't sit deep enough on the nut. They whereas other ones come all the way over. These the SKs have a tendency to sit right there on it, and the chrome just chips off under, not even under like using. I'm not talking about using the breaker bar. I'm like under hand pressure. I was able to get the chrome to chip off and spider on the wrench. It was ridiculous.
Hey, Justin Dow.
Justin Dow in the house, brother man. How's it going?
I know we're behind.
I'm liking the Carlisle Napa stuff. Just want to ask, you know what? I like the Carlisle stuff too. The Grant says, don't apologize for your rants. You're one of the most knowledgeable peeps out there. Thank you, sir. I talk about Harbor Freight because that's what people with my audience said they wanted to hear. If you go back and look at my old tools, I used to talk about Rigid all the time. And the only reason I stopped talking about them is because they weren't following through on their warranties. Who sells Tecton tools? Who do you like better, Tecton or Icon? Tecton sells their tools directly, and so you will find them in some stores. There's not a lot of them. You can go to the website and find out. You can also find them on Amazon. But if you buy directly through their website, you get a 10% cash credit back. So I highly recommend buying direct. As far as do I like Tekton or Icon better? I don't have a whole bunch of Tekton. Or sorry, no, I don't have a whole bunch. I mean, I've got a few sets. I would have to say that I probably prefer the Tekton stuff. I wouldn't say that it's better. I would say it's a preference because, like, I like the shape of the handle on the ratchet. Yeah, it's got... Hold on. You chat with them for a bit.
Okay. I'm going to take over the comfy chair. I'll probably fall down.
You would steal my comfy chair.
I am stealing your comfy chair.
You!
Hey! Are you done? No. No one's talking food. It's all tools. This thing's broken. Hey, daughter of Ra. I see you said let the missus know that she has pictures coming. I saw them. They are awesome. Joe Smith says, 9 p.m. shout out break. Post links to your channels. Here is the world premiere of Name That Tune number 29. He's got a link there. And chat disconnected. Trying to reconnect.
Was that a pop-up?
Right there.
That's weird.
Never seen it look like that. Jay Taylor says, how is the Harbor Freight planer?
The handheld planer, never used it. Can we not scroll any lower?
No. I think we're having technical difficulties.
Why don't you go see if the Cubs are online?
You just want your comfy chair back. Do you see what's
No,
going
they
on
don't, because
here?
it's disconnected. Go on.
Yeah. He's trying to steal my
Go
comfy
on.
seat. I'm going.
Go on. That's my seat.
You're not the boss.
I told you to bring your chair out here. You didn't do it. I'm so the boss of you. I'm older than you. Respect your elders.
I'm in charge.
Ah! All right. There it is. I'm going to pop the chat window back in and see if I can recover the chat. And pop out. Go to that. There we go. See? Well, guys, we had some problems there. The chat window got... What just happened there? What is going on? Well, we're having issues with the chat. So, anyway, sorry, we had some chat issues. So, please repost your comments if I miss them. I'm starting off with Zaphiel's comment here. The only reason Chrome came out the SK is because the UPS guy who's a professional tested it. Okay, so ratchets real quick. Tekton ratchet. If you see here, it's got this nice notch right here. Fits perfectly where your finger... It's called indexing. I'm a GUN guy from way back. A firearms instructor, actually. Oh, I said the word. Oh, I'm going to get demonetized by the Google overlords. Anyway, the rest of the tool is decent. It's nothing fancy. I think guys get really fussy about the ratchet part. If it works, it works. 70, 80, 90... Anything above 70-some teeth is just, at that point... I mean, this 120 simulated tooth thing, that's just ridiculous. I like the balance... I can self-index it without even looking at it. And I like this notch in it, and I like the bell on the end. It's nice, big. If you see that, it's got a hard edge right there, so your hand butts up against it.
Are we back?
Icon's decent. I will say this. Now, this is the 3/8, but the Icons do have very narrow heads on, which are great, and flex, which is nice. But as far as the handle itself, there's nothing about this handle to write home about. I think that they could have done more. And when it comes to the ratcheting wrenches, this is a Tekton, and it's a flex head, which I really like. It's not reversing, but it's flexible, which means I can flip it over and just change it. This is a icon as opposed to a snap-on. They're essentially very similar. Hi. So, anyway.
Somebody was just talking about... Oh.
What?
You...
Anyway.
Aubrey was talking about, took a look at the dollar store.
I took a look at the dollar store 1/4-inch ratchet sockets 2 years ago. To my surprise, the sockets seemed decent. 6-point relieved corners, nice. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. Josh the Tool Dude says, glad you got my email. So you know Hercules was going brushless, but didn't tell us. There's sometimes where I don't say stuff because I know guys won't listen to me and they'll run to the store going, I heard that it's going to be there, and then it's like, it's not. I sent over some pictures from the store sign. Please show the audience. That was my last video. I'm trying to get actually a higher res image of that directly from Harbor Freight.
Chris, you're right. Bear was testing the Harbor Freight Wi-Fi router.
Yes. Can you mix Icon and US General boxes? You can mix them, but they won't match. The US General are 22 inches and the Icon are 24. So the depth isn't going to work. We were trying to put like a hutch on the US General. That's not going to work.
The one from Douglas?
Sure.
The small white envelope. So we were having some post office issues. But actually, Daughter of Ra, I did get your postcard literally the next day. So I know that we did get a package that I was not able to pick up on Saturday. So maybe that was it.
We did get a small envelope from someone. Maybe. What was in it? Dang nabbit. Just recently.
Is it on your desk? No.
No, because we moved the whole desk thing around.
Yeah.
Son of a shoe. We fail at organization. I'm really sorry.
Dunk, don't whack the table.
I'm sorry.
Can you give us a hint as to what's in it so we can try to remember what it was?
So, why do I feel like, yes, we did get
somebody sent it. I remember thinking like, hey, look, somebody sent us something cool. Oh my gosh.
Aha! Oh, yes!
Was
yes,
it this?
Yes, yes, we did!
Beware of bears. They are strictly non-vegetarian.
We did get that.
I'm getting magnetic tape, and this is going up on the icon. Is this what you're talking about? Because this is awesome.
Which is why it was in there.
Because somebody sent us this, and there was no information as to where it came from.
So, yes.
Nick says, I will be making one ring out of 9mm shell casings in the 6... Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
Framing nailer questions. 21, 30, etc. What's better and why? I am not the person to talk about framing nailers. When I was doing framing, we did it with a hammer. Never used a nailer until about 5 years ago. And then I've only used like the smaller pin nailers and staplers. I've not used a framing nailer or a flooring nailer, and I'm not going to speak on it because I don't have enough experience or even second-hand experience in them to pass along. But if one of you do, please chime in and let us know. Do you prefer ratchets with a button or without one? I do like the quick release ones. Because when you get really greasy and stuff, trying to get a socket off can be a real pain in the you-know-what. Some of us love good tools, especially me that I'm single. What are your thoughts on Central Machinery 9-inch bench top saw? I think it's a hospital visit waiting to happen. You're talking about the red little table saw? I tried to buy some tools for my Sears hometown, and apparently the sale does not apply there. No, hometown is completely different from Sears. They got spun off a few years back. You got any inside knowledge of when the rest of the Bauer products will be released? No. I've not heard anything on Bauer lately. There's just too much going on with the Hercules and the Icon line.
Daughter of Ra, well, so both of them were like, oh, right, about the internet. But what really was interesting was that I have some treats that sometimes go in their lunch boxes, namely cookies. and they had asked if they could have some cookies, and I figured they meant the ones that Eleanor made earlier today. No, they had climbed up onto a counter to get on the tippy toes on the very top of something to get cookies down. So yeah, they got in trouble for that too.
Dan says, got any license plates I can put in my garage? I do have some license plates. I just need some space in my garage to put them up.
No.
Somebody sent them to me.
No. He's asking if you have license plates that he could put up.
Oh, I thought he was making reference, because he sent us some. I thought he was making reference to those.
Oh.
I don't have any license. Honestly, I don't collect license plates. I appreciate them saying they're cool, and I'm going to put them up because it's going to remind me of you, but I don't collect license plates.
Yes. Well, we do now because we have some.
The dollar store sockets were local dollar and more store through $3 to $4. That's not bad. Mostly plastic cases, socket wrench, junk machine bits. Yeah, well, that's going to happen. I hope you liked the vintage plate I sent. Yes, we did. Email I sent you last night was in regards to my friend's dad workshop that burned down. It had a link, so it may be in your spam. It did not get that.
Yes, we will.
And I will check my spam box after this.
I'm making a note right now, actually, on my telephone.
There's Douglas Ullman. Yes, that's it. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was really cool. You should see my smile when I opened that up.
Yes, I did a little happy dance.
Ralph Smith said, "Thank God you're back on the Zombies Didn't Get You." The paparazzi. Yeah, the paparazzi.
Yeah.
Oh, the benchtop bandsaw. The 9-inch. I am not a... Oh, you did say 9-inch. I don't know what I was thinking. I had one of the clones of that one. Not that one in particular. I'm not a fan of bandsaws. Other than portable bandsaws, they're less than 14 inches. They just feel like really big scroll saws at that point. And just not a fan of them. It may be just my preference the way I do work. I know some people have used them and like them. I don't care for them. And not just the Harbor Freight, any of them.
Hey, somebody else is posting a link.
That's
hey!
Nick, again. He's the one who posted it before. He's posting his reverb.
Magical jujus that I don't have. The
Raven. Hey guys, want to let you know I like the new Good, Bad, Ugly series. Have you decided what will be next? I'm probably going to do Harbor Freight next. I was planning to do DeWalt, but it's replacing my XX Tools Suck series. Because I hate to say it, but there's some people who just can't take a joke like that, and they need to have it less confrontational for them to digest it. So we're going to try this. Can you do a preview review of the new DeWalt 12-volt brushless? Have you heard any news on them? I have. VCG has been doing a whole bunch of stuff on them, so you might want to check them out. It looks great. It really does. And I've been saying, and the funny thing is, I just gone on a big rant, like the week before that launch, saying that 12-volt may soon be surpassing 18/20-volt as the primary tools. Because they're getting so efficient with the batteries and even more efficient with the motors, the engineering is getting up there so far that there's almost like no reason, unless you're a high-end power tool user, that you need a 20-volt tool. And it's funny to say that, but there's lots of guys I see just carrying 12 volts and they get along with it just fine.
Did you realize that our chat is not visible to them anymore?
Yes.
Okay.
It wouldn't sync up for some reason.
Okay. I have an answer for Frank is fishing.
How much money do you think is good to spend on tools in a year before the wife gets mad? Go on.
Well, I think it depends on how much money you have. Make sure the basics are covered. And, yeah. No one should get mad. But, what's your thought?
My wife loves me. She lets me spend as much on tools as I want.
As long as
the rent gets paid, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Bear, what you doing?
Asking Mom a question. Are you washing my clothes right now for school?
Ackland $5 super chat. Emailed you a few
back.
months ago about speaking to Harbor Freight about stocking multi-packs of the sockets. I did forward that to them. The guy who's my main contact is not in that department. He forwarded it over. We have not heard anything back. But $5 super chat. 3, 2, 1. I knew someone was gonna see that. Yeah, right there. That right there. Yeah, that's someone's mannequin. I don't know. Not mine. Sweetie, don't talk about that. Let's see here. Eugene says, I love my 56 US General top and bottom box. Want to get icon side cabinets. Will it work? You might be able to make it work, but it's not going to work out of the box because the icon's 24 inches deep and the US General is 22. Don't be jealous, but I got a 52-inch Husky adjustable work table. You did not. For $100. Is that the white one with the 2 drawers? Because if it is, I'm coming over to your house to steal it. I so want one of those. Mr. Doughboy, how's it going, man? It's like old home week here. Everyone's showing up. BKD70, thanks for the frame nailer answers. Thanks, guys, for chipping in on that. Nathan says, hi from Australia. Enjoy your channel. Tempted to buy some 6-point ratchets. Is that a good decision? I'm always a fan of 6-point ratchets. You can see 6-pointer. I like 6-point, especially in ratcheting. There's no reason to have 12 points in a ratcheting, unless, of course, you're working on 12 points. I'm a big fan of it. The wife will be excited to know there's people from Australia. She lived in Perth for 2 or 3 years. Don't forget Good Bad Ugly EP on Makita at some point. We will do. We're going to do all of them. Once a week, we'll do each week. We're going to do one. Then I'll ask that week for people's recommendations for what to do next. It would be great if one of the ladies started selling jewelry. What? Like, you mean like tool jewelry? That would be very fast. I'd be very fetching, don't you think? And no, I have not been drinking yet. Nick says, recommendations on vices. Well, we did talk about drinking. And then I would say, moonshine's my favorite. Recommendation on vices. It depends on how heavy you're going to use the vice. If it's just light work, the Harbor Freight ones are fine. For anything heavier, the Bessie ones are decent. They're not as good as they used to be. What channel was it? Somebody, I know one of you guys know it. Put in the name of the channel down below. Somebody just did a vice test where they just blew them out of the water. I gotta say, I really like the DeWalt one. Man, the DeWalt one, I really like the setup on it. It really depends on how hard you're going to use the vice. There's some German company ones that are just brilliant, but you also need to have the pockets to afford it. Donna Ross says it'd be great if one of the ladies started selling jewelry.
Like me?
I said we do ratchet. Look at ratchet jewelry.
Oh yes. Or no, you know what? I could totally see.
As a necklace?
Like a necklace with like some smaller... Okay, it'd have to be symmetrical because otherwise I'd lose my mind.
Two smaller ones on either side?
Yeah. Like,
there you go.
Different... Yeah. Okay, now I'm thinking jewelry. I know.
The black one. Okay. That's the... I thought the black one was much smaller. It's 52 inches? Oh.
And they're talking about the mannequin.
Yes, I saw that.
Someone would mention.
Stealing, so you're a Blood Raven Space Marine. No, is Space Wolves. It's raiding the Conquest, the mannequin. Fireball Tools yes, that's Fireball Tools did the vice test. It was a very interesting test. But yeah, and I'll be the first to say the Harbor Freight vices and anvils are not even prosumer grade. They're basically like, I just need something to hold this. I have one bolted to my Yukon bench. I've had it for a couple years now. It's held up just fine. Irwin makes some nice cheap vices also.
Daughter of Ra, I think I know where you're going.
Put the mannequin with my jewelry comment.
Yep, makes more sense.
You people, maintenance man in the house. Oh, he was here before.
Honey, can I borrow your necklace to fix the car? That's right. See, like I'm always like you know, I grew up with like MacGyver, so you know, of course, that would be appropriate jewelry.
Did you buy the bourbon I asked you to buy this today?
No.
Why? Why do you hate me? We only have vodka in the house. Vodka makes me feel so...
Okay, you're cut off from the vodka now.
Why am I cut off from the vodka?
Bad things about potato juice.
It's not potato. Usually only Polish vodka is actually made with potatoes. Russian vodka is made with grains.
Do you see what I'm dealing with here? Do you see what I'm dealing with?
I'm only the author of the best-selling book in the world, The Home Distiller's Workbook, Your Guide to Making Moonshine, Whiskey, Vodka, Rum, and so much more. A best-selling book in the world on how to make booze at home. So, roll along, little missy.
You're gonna have black eye.
I love you, by the way. Oh, she puts up with me so well. How are you getting the coupon prices to pop up when you show a screenshot of the Harbor Freight website? They do not show up on mine. Ancient Chinese secret known as the Harbor Freight Coupon Database.com. My Straussen store has the white one for $198 in stock. Yes, that's the one I want. And I was planning to buy one as a desk, so I could have a desk in the garage that would also be a workbench. But finances this month, we got kind of screwed on our royalties check from Amazon again. And as such, I have to wait hopefully until next month. Man, being poor sucks. I miss that regular, paycheck kind of thing. Good sockets for the money, Jeff. Where am I? Do you have the small mill lathe vise from Harbor Freight? I used to have it, and I used it on my drill press, and it was okay. It wasn't fabulous by any means, but it was okay for light duty use. Harbor Freight anvil is worse than a piece of railway. Yeah, it probably is. Man, a lot of those have Bondo in it. It's really sad. It's because they're cast, and the castings are not perfect, even close to. And quite often, to fill out the shape and make it right, they'll put Bondo in it. Apparently, it's pretty common on cheap vices across the board. How you doing, maintenance man? What you drinking tonight? I'm teasing. I know he's probably not. Scoutcrafter has done several vice restorations, including repairs. He did some nice ones. Vodka seems appropriate for a bear. If it's a Russian bear, I'm a North American tool bear. I'm going to drink bourbon. Wild turkey, right? You got to catch the turkey, make him gobble. Got the USA Hyper Tough pry bars from Walmart. They're nice. I've heard nothing but good things about those, as a matter of fact. What about Finnish vodka? Finnish vodka is usually done with light grains and rice, and like wild rice, and is usually highly filtered, very light tasting. Thank you. Vodka, especially some Grey Goose. Oh, I gotta say, I support Hangar One vodka. I like the small craft, the small shops that are trying to make it. Must be a bear to get along with the... Nice. Harbor Freight brand steel epoxy is USA, but no other HFT epoxy. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Had one vice. Sean says we had one vice we accidentally broke testing a click-type torque wrench. Huh. Yoast vices. Yeah, Yoast makes good vices. They really do. You build it, we destroy it. Hey, man, how's it going? Screwed by Amazon. Business would be operating on your money again. Yeah, No, they've done this thing now where I used to be in a real tight niche, and the niche has opened up. So now I actually have to pay to advertise to get ranking, because major publishers have come in and they're paying to get ranking. So now, even though I'm selling more books than they are, if I don't pay, it's almost like a protection racket. Oh, you want your book to be listed? Well, you got to pay the fee. I'm like, you only have this niche because I built it. And now all these other Johnny-come-latelys are here, and they're paying you to basically make me go away. I'm like, I'm the one that got you here, brought you to the party. Anyway. Yeah.
Matt R. says, just felt one of the sharpest pains ever. The old step on your kid's Matchbox car.
Oh, that's bad. The Legos is usually worse.
I was going to say, I think Legos are worse. And
the Legos are...
Jacks, never mind.
A Lego in the heel is just... That's a new, special kind of pain. When buying a new air tool that requires oil, should I add extract oil on the first use since it's fresh out of the box, or would they normally come from the factory? I would clean it and oil it myself. That's the way I am. Because I want to know what's in it and what's operating in it to make sure. Because you don't know whether dust and other stuff got in it in packing and shipping, how long it's been sitting in that box, or how good a job the person at the factory did.
Good night, Steve. Have good sleep for work tomorrow.
Good night, Steve. Man, you take care. Stay strong, man. Retail is tough business. Nick says, what about Dan Aykroyd's vodka in a skull? Again, what's his name's podcast? Joe Rogan's podcast, man. That whole crystal skull thing is spooky as all hell. And maybe we'll have to do a conspiracy spooky live stream for Halloween. But I've never had it. And I'm not a vodka drinker normally, so that's why. African says, I spent way too long at Harbor Freight the other day looking for non-China items. I got asked if I needed help like 3 times.
Oh my gosh. I hate that.
I got to say this. So I'm at my favorite store in the Vegas area. There's 6 stores in the Vegas area. The North End store, the one right off of Martin Luther King, where Crystal is the manager. Best store in the Valley. We drive cross town to go to that store because we like it so much and we like the people that work there. First of all, Harbor Freight, you screwed up by not putting an icon in that store. They put an icon in the store over on the far east side of town.
Which
ridiculous. Ridiculous. Simply ridiculous. There's tons of room in the store up north. Crystal's the best manager in the Valley. Just the way it is. Should have put a store there. Especially since I'm going there all the time. I'm not going to drive over to the other store. If you want to see that icon on there, you should have sent it to that store. You did Crystal wrong on that. And secondly, the district manager. His name's Jeff. Met him for the first time. Great guy. He came over. Guys, district managers, if you're a district manager and you're going to go out on the floor and you're going to talk to people and be like, hey, how you doing? Can I help you? Stuff? Wear a name tag because you look like a stalker. No offense to Jeff. I've had other district managers do it. I've seen them. They come up and they're just wearing normal clothes and they're like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Nope. There's no excuse because the guy before me even said something to him about like, do you work here? Did you catch that?
No.
Yeah.
But I can understand why they don't. But yes, I do also understand why it's a little...
It's great that they're doing it. They just need to let people know that I'm not some stalker coming to ask you, hey, you got any pictures of your wife? Want to buy some? Sorry, that's an old joke.
Yeah. Anyways, love the store.
There's no vodka in this.
No.
Ah.
Do you want vodka?
Yes.
Well, then you have to give it back to me.
Let's see here. Now to get Steve to bed. You go tuck him in. What are the current laws about home brew booze for fuel? Federally, you cannot make any booze without a license. Flat out. States vary by different states. Some states allow you to do it. Some states allow you to do it for fuel. There's a lot of different rules. California says you can do it for fuel. You need a permit. It doesn't cost much. But you got to be like 1,000 yards from, or is it 100 yards from any residential building. You have to be on a 6-foot basic concrete. They have tons of, it's California, tons of regulation. Oh, so progressively regulated about everything. Sunday night is still throwing me off. I hate missing the Bears. Dale, I'm really sorry about that. With the new schedule with football and the Cubs and Scouts and everything, we had to move to Sundays. Is Raven good for the price? Is Chaka here? Because if Chaka's not here, I'm going to say it's fine for the price. It's a great prosumer, low-end, entry-level tool. They're ones that I like better, but I honestly I like the ergonomics of the Bauer stuff better, and I'm a big one on ergonomics. But as far as entry level ones, I don't know. Can anybody think of an entry level prosumer between Bauer and Ryobi that would be a better option? There's some low end rigid stuff, but they don't have as big a tool line. Can't say Porter Cable anymore because they're going away. Craftsman, maybe, but then you got they have the same problem the rest of Stanley Black & Decker does. Stupidly expensive batteries for what you're getting. Browsing the Harbor Freight site, what do you think about their air die grinders? Josh, I'm sorry, I'm not an air tool user much at all. I used to way back in the day. I had an automotive paint touch-up business, so I did use some paint brushes, but I don't use a lot of air tools. And I find these days they're really only automotive body guys use them anymore. So I'm not going to talk about them. Somebody said that, I mean, the Central Pneumatic ones, let's all admit. Can we all have a consensus? The Central Pneumatic or Chicago Pneumatic, whatever it is, Central Pneumatic, the air tools suck. And the accessories suck. There's a few in there that work okay, but mostly they suck. The Merlin stuff has been great. I've heard good things about the Chief stuff. You'd have to check it out for yourself, though. I won't say I've heard enough where I can give it a recommendation. For me to give a secondhand recommendation, I have to have an overwhelming consensus from a bunch of people.
And you would also say this is a secondhand.
And I will. And I always, that's the other thing, is I always tell people what my sources are. So it's like, you can say like, well, hey, good looking.
Hey.
Got your hair done, huh?
Yeah. It's okay. In like 5 seconds, it's going to annoy me and I'll put it back up again.
Show me the alcohol I buy in a skull is absent. Do you drink beer at all? If you do, cheers with a beer. I'm not a beer drinker. There are times when I will. If I'm working outside on a hot day, I'll drink a cold beer. If I'm at a hockey game, I'll probably drink a beer. If I'm at like a festival or something where you're getting beers or a ball game, I'll have a beer. If I'm sitting at home and relaxing,
not having a beer.
Usually I drink bourbon neat with a Coke back. That's my, if you've ever been around me, that's default. It rolls off my tongue. Bourbon neat, Coke back. So it's usually hard liquor at home. That's better.
Seem to be tangling my hair.
All like and sub the deer leader. There's deer? Where are the deer?
And their leaders.
And their leaders. You know, that is another animal that I actually really like. And, you know, Cazadores, they do a great, you know, there's nothing quite as majestic as a nice elk stag kind of thing. They're gorgeous. Man, we drove into Yellowstone one time and we were getting up to Mammoth Hot Springs. It's where like there's like a bunch of buildings, a bunch of office stuff, not office, but they're old. I mean, they're old vintage buildings and stuff in the Yellowstone area. And they've got one of those parking lots that has a center island with grass in it. It's about 20 feet across, and we're pulling right into it. And right at the front of it, there's this statue of an elk, and it's huge, and it's looking up skyward off into this. It's like staying straight with its head craned at that degree, just like looking into the future of all elk everywhere. And I'm like, that is an amazing statue. And then it turned and looked at me, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was in the truck, thank God. But I was like 10 feet away, and I thought, for the life of me, it was so perfect. I thought, it has to be a statue.
Yep.
And then it moved. I'm like, ooh, they got animatronics like Disney.
Yep.
Not so much.
And then...
Yes.
And then you get attacked.
Yeah.
You become front page news,
yes.
And everyone local laughs.
Well, it's still, I think it's still, until the end of this month, it's still official Pet a Bison, or Ride a Bison month in Yellowstone. So go try it.
Get your face on the newspaper. You might get a free life flight, you know. Hey.
Great aerial views of the geysers. Well, Harbor Freight foot switch, Lone Pack 2 roller. I love the Harbor Freight foot switch. Huge fan of that. Doyle pliers. Some of the Pit Pros is Taiwan. Carpet trucking, 3-piece pry bar are all India. All Herc and Bauer is Chicom. Vodka is awesome, especially enough of you people in your Grey Goose.
Hey, don't hate them if they like Grey Goose. That's their own thing.
Let's see. I gotta get. I went too far back. I put in a request for now masks or clowns.
I think she means no masks.
No masks or clowns. Yeah, I'm not a clown. I hate clowns.
Or is she talking about for the channel?
Yeah, I think she means for like Halloween stuff.
Oh.
Icon landed in Maryland, and he likes them. Let's see here. I really want to become a moderator so bad. Sad laugh. I'll wait though. Writing Life. Has he been around?
He's kind of new.
You know. We're feeling generous. Why is Hercules battery now $60? Carson, that's a good question. I'm going to send an email to them on Monday to see if that really is a price increase. As I said in the video, I hope it's not. I really do, because that would be a bad thing.
What's our closest Home Depot? Thomas, are you trying to go shopping with us?
The closest Home Depot is the one down off of Charleston. West Charleston.
I always get confused with the...
It's
Lowe's.
a so-so Home Depot.
No, I get confused with the Lowe's.
Yeah, the Lowe's is the one near Red Rock.
Yes.
Zafio, wondering, do Super Chats dox the donator's identity to the channel owner? They do not.
Wait, what?
Basically, does YouTube tell us who donated? It just says just like it says right now. It says Zafio donated $5.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
I see how you are, getting all funky with your
With my
tools over
wrench, straight up wrench style.
A lot of people are saying it's bedtime in New York, wherever they are.
Masterforce is exactly what he asked for. Entry line, Bauer all the way. I own Bauer and Ryobi tools. Bauer has more power, in my opinion. Ryobi feels a little bit cheap. They do feel a little bit cheap on a lot of the tools. They do make some higher end stuff, but it's also more expensive. Multi-tool overheats and shuts down. I gotta say, the best multi-tool out there is the rigid one, in my opinion, because you can change the heads on it, do all sorts of stuff. That's a real multi-tool. Is the new Bauer cordless impact half-inch any good? It's decent. I would say I need to compare it against the Cobalt. The Cobalt's listed as having more power. I like the Cobalt stuff I have. But if you're looking for just that, if you're buying a tool line based just on that, I might consider going the Cobalt route instead. Need a big air supply for air grind. Yeah, anything that spins, you need a huge air supply for. The Harbor Freight Twig. Okay, we did that. Amazon has clone bats for Ryobi. They're stupid cheap. They do. For almost all of the tool systems, there are clone batteries out there for. Hey, Jeff, what size is the tap and die set you like? It's just the basic, I think it's like a 62-piece set, and you can use the 25% off coupons on them. They're not the best ones out there, but they do have a lifetime warranty, which most tap and die sets do not come with. And I will be honest, I will be totally honest, what I use most of my tap and die set for is chasing threads on either bolts or holes that get damaged or cross-threaded. That's 90% of what I hoping to do more mod kind of, or not mod, but fabrication kind of stuff. But for right now, that's mostly what I use that for.
WJ6F, totally understand. It says, great show, gotta go run and help with homework. So
you take care.
We totally understand. We were there a lot.
Will Icon come out with an electric torque wrench? I would not expect that they would. They have a Quid one, and the Quid one is pretty decent. It really is. They've got a standard click type high-end torque wrench already. I think they're probably going to stick with just that. Low-end Metaba Hitachi seems reasonable. It does, and from what I saw, the battery pack system is going to stay compatible with the new ones, So it might not be a bad idea picking up the Hitachi stuff that's on closeout right now as they're transitioning over to Metabo Hitachi. Anyway, Joshua, have a great night. Great show tonight. Gotta run. Help with homework. You have a good one. Sauerkraut says elk are gorgeous. I will say that, and I'll add they are delicious as well.
Yes, that's what.
Yummy.
Hi.
Speaking of homework and almost bedtime.
A bear started by an elk. That's got to be a joke line somewhere. Had an elk burger last summer. It is awesome. Elk burgers are the bomb diggity. I know I'm dating myself with that reference. May I recommend my favorite Gentleman's Jack and Knob Creek smoked maple? Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
I like Knob Creek. It's not my favorite. The Woodford's Reserve is my favorite, like standard one, rather than like little boutique single batch kind of stuff. But the Knob Creek's not bad either. Gentleman's Jack's okay. I've drank it quite a bit of it. It's decent. Good night, Princess. I love you.
Good night. Hey, I'm gonna
Suck up to Joe Smith if you want to be a mod. That's right. Remember, Joe Smith was mod number 1. So if Joe Smith says you're going to be a mod, I have to make you a mod. It's the rule of the mods. George says, I bought the new DeWalt Extreme Combo Kit. It's really powerful for 12 volt. I've heard nothing but amazing things about it. I hope they roll out a whole bunch of tools to go along with it, and I hope they keep the batteries reasonable, but I don't see that happening. A Halloween Nazgul costume. Dale said, by the way, I got my first beatdown for buying a Chinese communist toolbox, Harbor Freight 5 drawer, for a project thing that I'm working on to donate to a veterans project. I referred him to your video. Just so you know, the Blue Point 5 drawer that Snap-on sells is also made in China. That is the one that's like an exact clone that the Harbor Freight one essentially copied. All of those Blue Point cabinets are made in China. In fact, I was planning to do a whole video on all the Snap-on stuff made in China. You would be stunned. And for those of you who don't know, it's hilarious because I've told the story before about the guy who bought the 12 volt or 14 volt, was it? Snap-on was, I only buy American tools. I'm like, by the way, it's not American. Meta Olives, just tuning in, been watching football. Oh man, it's Sunday. I forgot football's on.
Yep.
I just got the littlest cub a RBI baseball, his first baseball video game, and he is ecstatic. He got 2 grand slam runs off of me today, home runs today.
We should do a video on his gaming style.
He bounces. Of course, I'm doing fastballs right down the middle, but Zaphiel, start a new job tomorrow. Got to go to sleep now. Maybe 30 to 40% more. Never be afraid of making changes in your life and improving yourself. Man, that is words to live by. Would you like the Binford tools are the best? 3, 2, 1. And for Chris. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, guys. You guys rock.
Yeah.
Ronald Smith says, good night, Cubs. Have a great... Oh, we talk to the Cubs. We'll tell them you say good night. SK stuff is excellent. I grew up loving SK, wanting to have a bunch of SK, figuring I could never afford it. And I still have some of the older vintage SK tools. I have not been thrilled with the newer stuff. It works just fine. I would say my issues are cosmetic, and I feel that, though, for the money, they shouldn't be having problems with that. Indy 13, Kansas City 10, start of the 4th. Come on, Indy. I used to be a huge Indy fan. I used to live in Indianapolis, and I was there when the whole Peyton Manning era started. And so I got to ride that whole wave, and, you know, it was fun.
Sorry, guys.
And if you guys seen my little brother, the guy who helped me at the iCut, my little brother, he was little back then. I got to take him to some of the games, and he was an Indy fan, so I became an Indy fan to bond with him and stuff, and just loved watching the team play. There's not a bad seat in that stadium. Yeah, I'm not even sure it's the same stadium. Den Tools, any experience with Hercules bimetal recip blades? Massive barn demo on tap next few days. Hate to spend the cash on Diablos if I don't have to. I have one. And it worked great, but that's not enough for me to say that they're awesome. Here's what I will say. Take it for what it's worth. I have also the Hercules, the blades that came with the table saw and the circular saw. I've used a ton of Diablo in the past, and I've used a ton of Irwin. Now, if you, like me, I found the Irwin, the Marples blades, to work just as good as the Diablo stuff. And what I typically would do is buy whatever's on sale that week when I needed the blade. I go out like, I need a new blade, open the website, find which one's on sale, and that's when I buy, because I felt that they were right at the same level. The Hercules, in my opinion, has been right at that same level also. Does that transition to the recip blades? Maybe. But I would... I don't know. I can't say that yes, that it is. I would say there's a good chance, but I can't say yes. Diablo has announced carbide tip sawzall blades. That's awesome. That's for when you need that. That is a great thing. Do you know why tool manufacturers often black oxide instead of galvanized coatings? I imagine the galvanization would work better for rust resistance when it starts to flake and chip. My guess is because the feeling of black oxide is better than galvanized. Galvanized I hate galvanized metal. I hate touching it. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Yeah, I know I'm a sissy and all that stuff and whatnot, but still, it's.
I'm trying to figure out the difference in my head.
Think about galvanized pipe, like fencing, like chain link fence. That's galvanized pipe.
Yeah.
Black oxide is that DeWalt set right over there. That's all black.
Yep, like that better.
Yep. Diablo Tools has announced a carbide. Okay, we just said that was the old RCA dome. They now have. Oh, that's right, the Lucasfield. That looked gorgeous. All right, hold on. Let me scroll back here. I think I missed some other stuff. I think it's because the Hercules battery is new. They just changed the form factors. There's nothing new about the battery. OPM ratchet style. Gong plus wrench. Milwaukee and Raby multi-tool heads fit rigid motor and vice versa. I didn't know Rigid had a multi-head one. Or not Rigid. Sorry, I knew Rigid did. Milwaukee. I didn't know they had a multi-head one. And thoughts on SK Tools. Are their crescent wrenches any good? Love the videos. I have not used their crescent wrenches. I will say that. And I don't use... I'm not finicky when it comes to crescent wrenches. Let's just say that. In fact, I'll show you... Crescent wrenches I have right now is... I have a set of 3 of the... What are these? HX, whatever. These were on sale Christmas, after Christmas specials at Lowe's. These are the super cheap ones. And this is a all trade 9-inch drop forged. I'm trying to figure out where it's made. Hold on.
Want to take a look? With my younger eyeballs.
No, I got a flashlight.
Oh, I see how it is.
This is drop forged. Oh, it's 8-inch. Did I say 8-inch or 9-inch?
I don't know.
Drop forged. Made in China. So, nothing special.
Whoa, that's really bright. We just blinded everyone.
So, I don't use them often. And when I do use them, I just use them as the counterpoint to like a ratchet, hold a bolt to the nut kind of thing. So, it's, as I said, this is not a tool I'm finicky about. Let's see, where else was I? Alright, so we're there. Sarkat, love Bird Dog. Where is our Bird Dog?
She's inside.
She'd be in a princess house. If you like Woodford's Reserve, Jefferson's is delicious at a fair price. Jefferson's is not bad. I don't think it's as good as Woodford's. It's not bad. And I don't... Sorry about the maple. Anything maple, I don't like maple donuts for the most part. Maple, for me, is reserved for pancakes. and waffles. Anything else? Pancakes and waffles. Maybe chicken if it's with the waffles. That's the only thing I like that's maple flavored. I don't think maple has maple bacon.
Oh, see, man, I made myself sick on those maple nut things.
Oh yeah, nope. Rigid 12-volt multi-tool will take the 18-volt tool heads. That's cool.
Oh, I can't stop itching my nose. Sorry, guys and gals.
Is it true Herc batteries are going up in price?
Labradors.
That's what we were just talking about. I don't know. I'm going to hope to get verification for you this week. Should I buy the DeWalt FlexVolt 7 and quarter circular saw? Maybe. I'm not a fan of any of the Stanley Black & Decker stuff, and for two reasons mostly. I think their batteries are way overpriced for what you get. Almost every other tool line, up to including Milwaukee, sells you a better battery for less money. So that's a better battery and less money. And their warranty, they talk about a 3-year warranty, blah, blah, blah. You have to send it off, and they've got a 1.2 star rating on customer service for warranty repairs. So, between those two, I think the tools are overpriced for what you get. There are sometimes they're competitive and sale prices and stuff, blah, 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 but I think there's other tool brands. I'd recommend Milwaukee over them. I'd recommend almost anybody over them. Who has the best drill bits? Should I try to sharpen my old ones with an angle grinder? There are people who are good at sharpening drill bits. I am not one of them. I know that drill doctor thing is a joke. I don't know if you need an angle grinder. I mean, I guess you could if you're really good at it. You could just use a sharpening stone too. But who makes good drill bits? I'm trying to think. I mean, I kind of default to like Bosch for stuff like that, but that's really old experience. I know other people are making good stuff these days. I don't know if somebody has a recommendation. I don't know. I just kind of always default to Bosch on this kind of stuff, which is expensive, but that's just what always my go-to was. I'll be honest.
Somebody else will have.
I use a lot of cheap drill bits and buy them in bulk, and then rather than sharpening them, I throw them away.
So, again, that'll be useful in our jewelry line.
There you go. Love my 60-volt saw.
Okay.
That's the DeWalt FlexVolt. Frank Sabaka. Boo. Boo to you. You should check out the tools on Caterpillar dealers. They're Williams Snap-on. Caterpillar dealers. Yes, I do know. I had a big, long discussion with a guy that I know who's a tech at Caterpillar. And apparently he can get Snap-on for cheap. Well, cheaper. BKD70 says, yes, Hercules battery prices are going up. Already on the website. Shelf tags or what I saw in the store are higher. That sucks. I can't believe they're going up to $59 because they were or going up $20. That's a huge price jump. Irwin Hansen taps are made of S2 Irwin. I didn't even think about Irwin. S2 steel, apparently really affordable and made in the USA from global materials, but still affordable. I like a lot of Irwin stuff, and if you've been around the channel, you've seen that. Roasted acorn squash is yummy. Walt, you're in timeout. Bun maple nut. That's a hard pass. DeWalt drill chucks are awful. I totally agree. All lithium-ion batteries are going up in price. It's China. That's probably true.
I'm going to have to go put little people in bed here shortly.
Okay. Any idea if Icon's going to release a screwdriver set with a blow molded case like Snappy? I don't know if it's going to have a blow molded case, but I would expect that they're going to come out with a screwdriver set. I have not heard anything specifically, though.
Bun candy bars? I am unfamiliar with that. You build it, we destroy it.
I've seen them.
Maple nut goodies are
They sell them at Tractor Supply.
What?
They're old school candy bar.
Bun candy bar. Okay.
Yep.
See, I have a really bad sweet tooth, so you're going to, send me off the deep
Well, the
end
good
here,
news
but
is that the closest Tractor Supply is 50 minutes away over in Pahrump.
I'm just saying, sometimes you get a bad craving for something you've never tried before.
Mountain Olive says silly line Greenlean makes the best drill bits. There you go. Says drill doctor's not a joke. It just takes work and time to learn. Bench wheel grinder for drill bits makes sure the rest of the surface first. Well, yeah, that's bench grinders in general, unless you're trying to turn it into a rocket. Just get a sacrificial drill bit and practice on it. There you go. Boss is the one that go with for drill bits.
I found the candy. It looks interesting.
Yeah, that's it. Roasted pecans. Come get your roasted pecans. Candied walnuts I like. Not a pecan fan, except for pecan pie.
Roasted
pecan pie is
okay,
amazing.
pecan pie is amazing.
Triumph Champion, all great drill bits and reamers. Old garage sale bins, USA, Italy, etc. Made bits, drill doctor. Use your welder and make little statues from old drill bits and the wrenches you break. There's a good idea.
I was thinking it would be really cool.
Daughter wants to know if the coughing's going away. Yes, it is.
Slowly but surely.
She's still not sleeping in our bed, though. She's sleeping downstairs.
No one tell my mother. Just tell her I went to the doctor.
Yeah. It gets too cold upstairs at night, and it just kills her. And she's got to sleep more in a vertical position.
Yep.
For drill bits, I've been using the Milwaukee Shockwave. Been going strong for a year. I did go to Fastnail for bits. They sharpen for a small cost. I thought there was an issue. I thought Shockwave was having an issue with stuff breaking recently. I could be wrong. Maybe I was just putting two and two together and getting 5.
Okay, Walt Lars, I totally thought that's where you're going. Acorn squash roasted with maple syrup. Yes, it is good.
No, it has the word squash in it, and that's too close to a vegetable for me.
It's okay.
It scares me.
You just go to your happy place.
Pizza?
Think of waffles. I love
Granver, have you tried any of the drill bit sharpeners? I have not. My grandfather always sharpened them by hand, and that's all I've ever tried to do. I've never tried sharpening with a tool of any kind. Just a stone and a... I have an old Popular Mechanics tips compilation book that says you can use an old tap and die in a drill press as an improvised router bit. Oh, that's interesting. A tap and die as a router bit.
Good night, Rodney. Says, gotta go. Have a church video I need to watch before going to bed. Good night, Jeff.
You have a good one.
Shine on, my friends. Of course.
We did tater tot casserole 2 nights ago. That sounds carby.
That sounds delicious.
Did you listen to that album I said? Yes, I did.
How do you take a blade?
I didn't listen to the whole thing. I could not get far into that. I'm sorry. How do you take a blade out of a pencil sharpener? Carefully. Just the tap. That's what he said.
He's all mine, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
all
yeah.
Mine.
Let's see here. You should do a comparison test of pocket hold jigs. That'd be an interesting one.
I think I should do a comparison test of tater tot casserole.
I drill mostly steel and have been really happy with the Milwaukee Red Helix Cobalt bits. Decent price, and they really last well. Josh, thank you for that. Actually, I was meaning to ask that I needed to do that. I needed to look into some metal drill bits because I'm planning to do a lot more metal working here in the next. The Cub wants to get into the old Cub wants to get into go-karting.
I will.
So we're gonna build a go-kart.
Back in just a few minutes. I'm gonna put little children to bed. Made chicken spaghetti. That sounds kind of good.
That sounds good.
I'll be back.
Can you, while you're in there, can you go get me some of those pumpkin chocolate chip cookies? No? We're at the store the other day for the last day of storefront popcorn sales for Cub Scouts. and they were selling these in the bakery. They're about this big around, but about this high. They look like little mounds of pumpkin bread, little round ones with chocolate chips in it. They were amazing. Bacon bits of maple syrup on the roast. Oh, geez, Walt, you've gone over the edge. Have a with you and your maple. You need to get you a 12-step maple program. You and my wife. She loves maple. Have a custom Denatool sticker on the way. Figured you may need to decorate that icon box. Grant, thank you so much. By the way, thank you for pointing that out. I need help. I am not a graphic artist. I can fake it if I try, but I never really get there. We need to come out with some new stickers and some merch for people. And I've been trying to do it, and I'm just not good at it. If any of you are a graphic artist and want to help out the channel, please email me at, I'll type it down below, red at the den of tools. If you email me there, I would really appreciate the help, because I know a lot of you guys have been asking for it. People want a Barricades shirt. They want a new sticker. They want the Shut Up Moto merch and some other stuff. Here's what I really want to do. I want to do a Den of Tools logo. Somebody actually helped me with it. It's done very much along the lines of the Snap-on logo. And I want to get it like 3D printed in like a chrome looking thing, so you can put it on the toolbox right next to like where it says icon, put like the Den of Tools or something there. Anyway, if any of you can help out with that, I would really appreciate it. Pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. Sounds good. You know, every year I make pumpkin bread. And then I take the pumpkin bread and I layer chocolate chips across the top. And they sink in to about, a few of them will get down to the bottom, but mostly they hover in the top third area, most on top. And then you cook them, and at the last minute you turn on the broiler and you just caramelize the top of it, and it's so good. Should I stick to Russian music or try something new for the next video? The music was a bit much, man. I know I'm a big fan of like what do you call it? Portishead, stuff like that. I like the jazzy kind of, trip hop kind of stuff. Tony says Hercules 20 volt 5 amp battery, $39.99, new 20 volt max 5 battery, $59. That's ridiculous. I'm gonna have words with him over that, and it may be the whole China thing, but man, that's a hell of an increase. Go-kart videos about to go down, and here's the thing: my son he's really into like the F1 racing, and we've been watching a bunch of stuff on Le Mans. We're waiting for that Ford versus Ferrari movie to come out. And the funny thing is, because back in the day, I used to have slot cars, like the old, I don't remember what they're called. I think they're called, what was the scale? It was like something stupid. The ones where they're like this big, they're like the size of Matchbox cars. Those are the best slot cars that I hate the big ones that are like this big. All those stuff. I like the little tiny ones, and they don't make them anymore. Or they're impossible to find, and they didn't take off. And I want to know why. But the first one I ever had was the old Ford GT in the Gulf livery. And I absolutely love that stuff. Anyway, that's the route the Cub wants to go. I want to get him into like dirt off-roading kind of stuff. So, anyway. The Warrior brand drill bits are garbage for drilling metal. Yes, they are. They are. In fact, when I had to drill out the top of this box, I had to go out and buy bits specifically because I had two in the size I needed, and I was able to do 2 holes. I do 1 hole, that bit was done. And actually I went to Harbor Freight and I got the Bauer bits, and it did fine for 2 holes. I didn't go past that though. I should probably do some testing on those. Sauerkraut says, I'm not a graphic artist, but I can help. I really need people who can do vector-based art. And, That's why I was saying like specifically a graphic artist, because the thing with vector is you got to be able to size it, not have it change the resolution of the graphic. If you know how to do that, that's great. I do know how to do it. I'm just not good at it. Hold on here. I told my new tech to save his money and stay off the tool trucks. I didn't. My 3 Snap-on boxes cost, or most of my Snap-on Matco Cornwell tools until I owned my own shop. That's what I've been saying is stay off the tool truck. When you get to like your 30s or 40s and you're making significant money, you've got most of the tools, then you can get a luxury purchase. Because that's what it is. It's a gift to yourself. You don't need it. You don't make money with your toolbox. It's either there to look good and feel good, or it's as an image to your customer kind of thing. But it's not something you necessarily need to have. Yes?
JFlow444 says, my wife made some dump cake. It was awesome. That dump cakes are amazing.
What's a dump cake? Where you just dump whatever you have into the cake?
They're usually like easier versions than following the directions. It's like you dump like cake mix and cherry pie filling together, and you don't have to add any of the other ingredients. Kind of like a soda cake.
Yeah, the soda cakes you made were great.
Yeah.
Ron says, I had a fantastic welder. We made our own Honda Odyssey out of used motorcycles, and they were fantastic. That sounds like a great idea. Reese Bobby. Joe Smith wants a Berkeley's tool line. I keep telling him, man, if your kid plans to build go-karts, get a decent TIG welder. The AHP 2100 XD is excellent choice. It comes with everything you need to weld except the argon gas tank, and it's $700. Man, I wish I had the $700 to spend right now. Things are tight this year, so that's probably not going to happen. Have to stick with see what we can do with this titanium welder. Going flux core. Unless Harbor Freight wants to send me a MIG or TIG. I'd love to test out the titanium TIG stuff.
Daughter of Ross says she wants a sticker of the Bears mugshot.
That's a good one. Does it have to be like him holding a placard?
We could make something work.
Video idea test cordless charger times and price. Walt, I really want to do that, and the only thing stopping me is money. I've got the Harbor Freight charger, so I've got Bauer, I've got Hercules, I've got, you see I was getting late and I've been drinking vodka, I've got DeWalt, I've got, what other major tool lines do I have? Cobalt. I've got Craftsman. I don't think I'm not going to do whatchamacallit. I wouldn't do Porter Cable, and I wouldn't do Black & Decker, so those can get ruled out.
They might not know who whatchamacallit is.
Anyway, you made so I've got Bauer, Hercules, DeWalt, Cobalt, Craftsman. I don't have any of the TTI stuff. I don't have Milwaukee, Rigid, or Ryobi. And I don't have Bosch, Makita, or Hitachi. And I'm trying to get their base blind battery and a charger from each one. If anybody wants to donate one or donate funds to it, that's what it'd be going to. That's my next big thing I want to do. Actually, say my next big one is probably going to be testing ratcheting wrenches. I'm still trying to acquire the linesman pliers because we're going to do that too. A bit much is Russian or in the volume. The volume was a bit high. But I mean, you could change it up. I'd like to hear what you're working on too. Shaveman says, I can help with 3D printing. Send me an email so I can have everyone's contact info and we'll get this stuff working. Not gonna lie, love me some blueberry cobbler with pecans. I'm not a fan of blueberry.
He's broken. Blueberry's delicious, so don't listen to him.
Let's see here. Josh Tooldu says the Milwaukee Matrix carbide driver bits were the ones breaking apart. They were supposed to be really durable, and they did last through wear, but were too brittle and snapped the tips. That's what I was seeing. Remember the slot car stores that had a huge... I've seen those. Those are kind of cool, but they're the bigger ones. I had just back in the 70s, this you could buy the pieces of track and you could set it up however you want. And I had this huge set of slot cars, and I had a huge collection of them. And I remember back then I used to mod them out and try to make them run better and fiddle with the tires and stuff. And man, I love those things, but I don't know why they went to the bigger ones. I think they were 1/24th scale, Carson says. I'll have to look, man. I'm really bummed. EFX Racers. I will look at that. Joe Smith does Flex Seal infomercials. Vector-based is Illustrator. Yes. Yes. Illustrator can do vector-based art. You need to have that one done in InDesign. The most stuff I've done is like in Photoshop or in Illustrator. Check out Octane Ink, located here in South Dakota. They do a ton of stuff. Just an option. You probably have lots of options, but drop my name.
You know, we are definitely open to more options.
And we like to work with people that other people know.
Yeah.
Vista Printing. Well, I'd get my business cards from them. In my experience, slow speed and keeping the bit cool are the key to long life drilling steel, but you need a quality bit. Yep, that's the thing is, speed control and cooling. I just want to chime in about the comment about Greenlee drill bits. Those are very good, but also expensive. Only place to get them is an electrical supply store. Well, there you go. HO scale. That's what I thought they were. I thought they were HO scale, but I wasn't sure. Because I also know that they're not actually to scale. Apparently to get them that small, because the size of the motor was limited, they weren't exactly to scale, and the two scale guys threw a fit about it, and that's apparently why they never took off.
A money-making sticker would be a bearskin rug anti-bear.
Nice.
I love it.
Let's see here. Campfire dump cake. Mm-hmm. Drop a box of cake mix and a can of 7-Up soda in the cast iron. So there you go. Anything in the cast iron, man, I just love. Oh, you know my favorite in cast iron is cornbread with butter. Oh my gosh. No like the channel icon without the smoke.
Daughter Ross said that.
No. Let's see here. Does a new line of Harbor Freight Fruit Loom. Honestly, Barry, you could rig up a TIG welder for your titanium for pretty cheap. No need to get another machine. Yeah, but it's 110. It's not 220. I luckily, in this shop, I do have 220. I think. I have a 220 plug. I haven't tested to see if it's working.
Yes, we haven't actually tested it to make sure it's actually hooked up.
I can loan you a Ryu NiCad battery and a clone NiCad with a charger for the test. Now, I don't want to do the NiCad stuff because I want to test and I appreciate the offer, I really do. But I want to do a test of all the new stuff because the thing is, for a lot of these, you'll end up spending as much on the batteries as you will on the tools. And people don't think about that. And it's if you're buying it, like the stuff that, like the batteries that come with the DeWalt stuff that they throw in those combo packs, those are baseline 1.3s with LG cells in them with no battery meter on it. I mean, everyone else is doing higher line cells, higher capacity cells, and battery meters. Hell, the Warrior has a battery meter on it. The 12 volt stuff, at least if they don't have a meter on the battery, they have it on the tool. So let's see here. A beer that doesn't like blueberries. Sacrilege. Yep, that's me. Yeah. Hold on. I got straight up. See, Wahawk agrees with me. He's not a blueberry fan either.
Well, you guys are both just lost.
Check out Kurt's on Cars and Cameras YouTube. I have watched theirs. They're a lot of fun. They put the big high power Harbor Freight engine on one of the little go-karts and just watch it do wheelies. Nick says, good because you wanted a sickle video and that needs to contain the Soviet national anthem. There you go. BKD says, were they HO scale same as model trains? I had a big AFX slot car set. But I think that's exactly what it was.
Sorry, guys and gals.
Aubrey said, I can't justify buying Icon when I can get some old used junk from a garage sale. They're the same common. That's totally fine, man. You'll never hear me say that these are what you have to buy or the best thing since sliced bread or anything. I could say that I like them. I could say they look nice. This is a nice tool. I love flex head ratchets, and they sound good. They feel good. From what I've used on them, they seem great. But are they the best thing ever that everyone needs to buy? I'm not going to say that. I would say that you probably can't go wrong buying them. I will say that so far though, of the ones I've handled, I like the Tekton ratchets better. Grant says, got to call it a night, early morning, Sioux Falls Fire and Rescue. Great chat. Thanks for stopping by. You take care. The car sets were made by Tyco and AFX. Yeah, and I had both kinds. In fact, the AFX ones I think were the non-slot ones I had where they could press a button and it would switch lanes back and forth. That was the coolest thing. Until you went to a tight corner, in which case it just slammed over into the wall anyway.
I don't think I had trains.
We are at one burned soapbox and no bearskin rug comments. We're having a slow night. Oh. Sounds like it's time for a rant. What can we rant about?
Is getting low.
Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong now. All right. Oh, I got to ask this. So last week we were talking about firearms and different favorite firearms channels, and there was a bunch of people saying you need to watch so and so, and I couldn't remember the name of the guy, and I meant to look it up and I forgot. Clint Eastwood is still not dead. Quit getting news from Facebook.
Somebody said that they thought he was dead. He's not
dead. No. He's too angry. He's too mean to die.
He's still not dead. I did double check. He's still not dead.
Anyway.
You're going to go on your rant. I'm going to check on him.
Go on. Go check on him. No,
I'll be back.
Once you're ready, we could talk about her behind your back.
That's right.
So anyway, if you can remember what the recommendation was for that channel, I want to hear what it is. I want to check it out. Facebook equals fake news. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to get started on Facebook news. It's just ridiculous. And the people who don't stop to check. You see something big, hop over to Google and see if there's actual news, something like that. It would be on the news. Big Sherm's in the house. Your Bob Vila Harbor Freight tools. I say that with all respect. I'm going to pick up some new Icon tools and give them a try. Awesome. For those of you who don't know, the whole concept with the bear, the whole idea was it was supposed to be like the whole Bob Vila thing of This Old House, where the bear was supposed to be the Bob Vila, and he sits there and he talks about it, but he never actually does anything. And then I'm like Norm, who goes out and actually does the work. And I was supposed to always have that kind of thing. I figured people would pick up on it, but most people seem to have missed it. Aubrey says there's a 10% off literally anything except clearance items coupon on Harbor Freight coupon with an expiration next month. There you go. 20% on Denna Tools channel. Colts are about to beat the Chiefs. Yes. Not that I've been following football a lot lately, but I always like it when the Colts win. It's always a good day. Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars and trucks are 1/64th scale. I didn't know that. You know what I did like? And typically I'm not a huge Chevy fan, but there's a few Chevy things that I like. The old square body pickups and some stuff. I like the Suburbans. But the new Camaro, I'm not a fan of the Mustangs. I can't get into the Mustangs. Anyway. The new Camaro. I sat down in one of the new Camaros, and I was like, this interior is awesome. And I like the look of them, retro and everything. But they came out with a Matchbox one, and it was blue, and it had the little Matchbox logo, and it had the red lines on the tires. And I actually sat there in the dealership going, how can I buy this without my wife killing me? And I'm sitting there going, well, I could sell this, and then I could, nope, wouldn't happen. Oh, hi. Aren't you in bed?
Or was I? I ate ice cream, so.
You did. Come here. Give me a hug.
Oh, what's that? I need
What's
to
what?
See that. I need to see that.
What?
That.
This?
Yeah.
One of our viewers sent that to us.
No, just be first. Of course, I was vegetarian for like 2 months, and then I couldn't do it.
Not more like 2 weeks.
No, I was.
Paul Harrell. Paul Harrell. Let me check out Paul Harrell. Come on, Foxy. Let's get to work. Let's type this out. Paul Harrell.
What's that?
All right.
I'm the
Paul Harrell. And I'm going to go over. And I'm going to find his channel right now. Paul Harrell. I've seen his stuff. He's pretty good. Really?
Yes. Really. Okay. Get on my level.
Is he the guy who did... He's not the guy who did, like, run the gun, learn how to run the gun you've got. I was talking about single-shot shotguns. Anyway. Alright, I'll go back and look at that later. Sorry, I got distracted.
I'm taking back my
Nope.
property.
My Foxy. No. Run, Foxy. Run. Alright.
Love
Go
you.
to bed. Give me a kiss.
Mwah.
You're a good girl. Bonk. Aw. Go on.
Bye.
Go to bed. And don't give your mom any grief, okay?
Okay.
Promise?
Promise.
Thank you. I thought was yoga. Norm was worth $3 million when Bob is worth 30. Poor Norm. That's not right, man. Would have been a very shiny bearskin rug for that one. Mopars are better. So I wanted to like the Challenger, and I sat in the Challenger. Now they've updated it since then. I sat in the first Challengers they came out with, and I looked at it. I'm like, and it reminded me like the first time I saw it in a Grand National, where I'd heard all the stuff about the Grand National, and I sat in it. And I'm like, it feels like a cheap Chevy. And I sat in the first edition of the new revamped Challengers. I'm like, this is how can somebody pay that kind of money for this thing? The new ones, the interior is much better. I miss the Chevy El Camino. I do too. I'm a huge fan of the El Camino. I love that. The funny thing is, my wife hates the El Camino, but then she talks about Utes because she used to live in Australia, and she's totally fine with Utes. And I'm like, it's an Australian El Camino, and she goes, "Oh, all right, I'm okay with it." Let's see here. Did she make funny faces behind? Did she really? Ford Ranchero. The Rancheros were nice. I didn't like the styling as much as I liked the El Camino. Jessica says, my first car in 2008 was a 76 El Camino. Good times. Nice. Factory ordered a 71 Challenger. Still have it. Wow. You know, if you're looking to donate something to the channel, I'm just saying. That's a sweet car, man. That's got to be worth some money now. Bedtime for the little bear. He's not in bed yet? Or are you talking about our little bear? Thank you. Awesome Papa Bear. Thank you so much. Hickok 45. I've watched him. He's got some good stuff. The S10 killed the need for the El Camino to exist, much the same way that minivans, they are. There's no need for an El Camino. There really isn't. It's just a cool looking car. 76 Dodge Charger, or 78 Dodge Charger. Holden makes the El Caminos in Australia. Yep. Most small and mid-sized SUVs are just minivans with bigger tires. Well, actually, what I say is they're station wagons. If you take most SUVs and you put them on standard tires and you just squish them just a little bit, it's a station wagon. That's all that it is. Honda Ridgeline is the modern El Camino. It kind of is. 69 Camaro SS. Nice. BKD's. Good night, everyone. Alarm clock's going off early. You have a good one. Thanks for stopping by, man. It's going to take me some time getting used to bed earlier. Yeah, that was... that would be rough for me. Big Bear is fighting. He's seen above. Will you go tuck him in? Give him some more milk. Tell him it's Betty by time. Maybe sing him a tune or two. HVAC car from North Carolina. HVACR North. $2. I'm not going to do the gong, and I apologize because we're in the garage and the door's up. So it's a neighborhood out here, and it's just getting too late to do that. But thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. I'm always just stunned with the support that you guys have for this channel. Hickok 45. I know who Hickok is. I know who most of the gun channels are. The Paul guy, I've watched him. I just didn't know who his name was. I had a Ford Econoline truck. Fun riding. Oh, jeez. And let's see here. Crossover was trying to kill me. Crossovers, have you noticed that crossovers are not doing as well as they would like them to do? They're doing okay in some segments, but for the most part, they're not doing quite as well as they'd hoped. They thought the crossover was going to totally kill the SUV, and it hasn't quite done that. Although technically I guess it has, because most SUVs are now unibody and not actually on a truck frame, so maybe they have. 72 Delta 88. My uncle turned in with a Sawzall. Oh, I gotta post that video. I forgot all about that. Subaru Brat Baja for the win. I remember the old Subaru Brats where they had the seats in the back with the handles you had to hold on to. Oh my gosh. What time is it here? It's 8:44. So we're coming up on 6, 7, 8, 9. See, I gotta count. So we're gonna call it at 9 o'clock. It's I gotta get up and take the Cubs to school in the morning. I gotta finish my vodka first. Okay, you see something Russian, Mom? Young boy, you better finish your vodka. Oh, come on. Bring back the International Harvester Travelall. Walt, you're the man. I love the Travelall. And talking about, I mean, it's the first, like, real SUV, and it's literally nothing more than a station wagon on steroids. I absolutely love the Travelall. And, when we're getting timestamps in here, someone's on the East Coast. I think. 10, 11, 12. Yeah. There we go. Boy, I am tired, more tired than I thought I was. What can I say? Let me look at my history real quick here on YouTube. See, I'll tell you who I've been listening to. Mark Roper. He did a solar system model. I'm, big science fan, so I gotta like that. Dream Welding DIY welding table, BRE channel. That was pretty cool. I'm looking to build a welding table. I'm looking for ideas on that. Yeah, let's see here. Studio C. Thank you very much, Justin Dow, for getting me into Studio C. That I'm being sarcastic there. Let's see here. Who else here? Anyone else fun that I've been watching recently? I see the kids have been on my account watching stuff. Oh, the bunch of auto sports store stuff. Oh, let's see if I can find him. Who is the guy? Oh, where is it? Where'd he go? Come on. Oh, the Better Together posted their 515-day shed to house conversion. I've always been a fan, kind of enthralled by the whole idea of the mini off-the-grid housing kind of stuff. I love yurts and that kind of thing. I always had this idea of rather than building a big house, I'd want to buy a bunch of land and then do like these separate buildings, kind of compound style. Have one big main building, then have like separate bedroom buildings and stuff. So anyway, check out Better Together. It's a really nice build on this shed/house. Who else are we going to talk about here? Where'd it go?
I don't know.
You should know. Where's my? That's what I want. Oh, subscriptions. That's what I wanted. Come on. I'm trying to find the one guy that I've been watching. I can't seem to find it now. Oh well. I'll have to remember it for next time.
Did we think all of our moderators?
We didn't, but you know what? We should. Let's take a moment here. Super Brett had seats in the back because of the chicken tax. That is right, Ronald. And you got to be old enough you got to be this old to go on that ride. Remember what the chicken tax was. So anyway, just want to, before we end the evening, I want to say thank you to all our moderators, everyone who helped out tonight. That's all of our boys in blue with the blue wrench there. Justin Smith, moderator number one, and everyone after that. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your did I say Justin Smith?
Yep. We're tired.
I'm tired. I'm sorry. Joe Smith. Be sure to check out his channel and all the other ones as a way to say thank you. I really want to get all our mods up to at least 100 subscribers, because at 100 subscribers, you can start doing different things with your channel that, YouTube doesn't really start treating you like a channel until you get to 100 subscribers. So please take a moment, check them out, give them a thumbs up, throw them a like. Sorry I had to finish Chiefs loss. Yes! AMC Eagle. My neighbors had an AMC Eagle. Oh. And also, I want to thank you very much to everyone who supported the channel through Super Chats tonight. Yeah. I really, really appreciate that. That just means the world to us that you guys support the channel directly like that. Because there's like throwing likes and saying and commenting all this, but people who like reach in the wallet and support the channel. We don't make a bunch of money here. This is, I'm semi-retired and she's a housewife. So everything you guys do for the mods, thank you very much. We're not doing this. It's too late and the door's open.
Okay. Ding, ding, ding,
there you go. There's a ding-a-ling next to me, but anyway, thank you so much.
And my favorite tool's next to me.
Yeah, nice. Musty one here has a ton of slot cars. I'll check it. Do you think first generation Hercules batteries will work? Yes, they will. The batteries internals are going to be exactly the same. Bear's drunk. Yeah, I wish, but not quite. Mrs. Bear wants the bed hopping bear will pass. Congratulations for getting over 50,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. That is a milestone that I never even considered that we would be seeing. I never even thought about it. It was so far in the distance, like that's like in the clouds. I can never fly that high. Yeah. I'm just stunned that we're there. And I will say for everyone else who Carson's Exploring Channel, please sub to him. There you go.
Yeah.
We get a lot of great people on here who have fantastic channels, and if you're thinking about starting a channel, do it. It's a great way to express yourself, and even if it's just getting it off your chest, it's a great thing to do. Yeah. Joe Smith, 700 new subs last week. Yes, I did. It's been incredible.
Hey, daughter.
Tara sneaks back
in. It's okay. I snuck back in too. I was trying to get little people that do not want to lay down tonight. Sundays are hard.
Any last questions or comments before we wrap up the show this evening? Statements of fact or fiction? Everyone subbed to everyone, so everyone has 50K subs. There you go.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Anyway, I guess we're going to call it evening then. You all take care. thank you very much for being part of the Sunday night live stream. Am I getting any of the new Hercules? I don't know. Generator needs fuel lines, but I got Spark back, and it should run. He picked up a 4,400.
I saw for like $50, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Slightly jealous. Whatever.
Have a great week. You all take care. Stay tuned for the gunsmithing tool shop tour. That's going to be lots of fun. Anyway, you all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.